Add Astra. Toodaloo.
Hello.
No, my sword! Rain outlines your fate. Rain cutter. How can I smash all these training dummies at once?
Atlantis One.
It seems I can't do it.
Order guide.
Command order.
So that's how to do it.
Solidify.
I'm impressed.
Sure. What shall we do? Just a moment. Totomate. Totomate yo. Fly. So. Scara, okay, huh?
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Microsoft Bing sucks. Ninja
Osmanthus wine
Senshi
tastes the same
Tokikage.
as I remember. But where
Oh
are
no,
those who
I
share the
I
memory?
only speak English, but it's not my first language. Gachiwa Tokyo Atsu Nagara Tono Kokoro
Let me weave you a verse.
Retribution! Takes order.
Rain outlines your fate. Rain cutter.
Love survivor, love survivor, love survivor, love survivor, Chansuo, Tsukimoto le, Aiwa Mune de Hikaru Prada. Well, my streams are very mundane and boring. I'm just a small time streamer, but thanks for dropping by. Appreciate it. Yeah, but I'm in the mood for some karaoke. Genshin concert right now. Do you Gaguru Surapa
Stabilize.
Suka Yoga Awichiken Oh Moe Koma Enshu Sushita Hikaru no Tarina
Order guide you. Gather.
Nakisa
Let me weave you a verse.
Lapsipaga Kotakuyo Lapsipaga Pakuyo Tomose Aiwa Munede Hikaru Planet Ninja robots, the powers are with you to protect the earth. Ninja robots, no matter how far you follow your dream, someday we'll be back on the earth together.
Solidify.
No, my sword.
The song is from an anime back in the 80s.
Body and brain outlines
Ninja
your
Robots,
fate.
if you've watched it.
Takes order.
Well, yeah, very old. Well, hello there, Plasma. Sorry, but I don't speak Japanese. I just know very little bit. Dankuka! Let me read the comments. So I'm looking at the lyrics. Let me read the comments. I don't know. Is that Russian or Portuguese? Well, I don't know any of those languages. Does
Order guide you.
not enough?
Rain cutter.
Let's keep burning love.
Huh? Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the
That's
adventure.
her song.
Thank you for Rain outlines your fate. Know my sword. Let me lead you. Rise over.
This is order.
I demand burger.
Rain cutter.
Verdict is
Attack, attack, attack. Ikari Sentai, Bayuman. Ay, it's Maskman, not Bayuman. Sentai, Bayuman. Kimi no Gokade
solidify. Order guide you.
Takabu Soja, Soja,
Rain outlines your
Bayuman.
fate. Know my sword. Time to go.
You
I will have order.
back to Bayo, Yashudo,
Let me lead you a brother.
Bayo, Yashudo,
Retribution.
Jodenshi, Bayuman, Jodenshi, Bayuman. Arigato! Gozaimasu! Hikari Sentai! Maskman!
order.
Go! This isn't good.
Solidify.
No, my sword! Witness the power of the one.
All the power, all the power, all the power, all the power. Sentai Maskuman. Gentleman.
Solidify. I will
Let's
have
go,
order.
let's go, gentleman, Yogi Sendai, gentleman.
Time for retribution.
Gentleman,
Rise. Order guide you.
gentleman. Oh,
Stabilize.
Witness the power of the one. No, my sword.
gentleman.
Higher, higher, here's the fire.
Gentleman, Yogi Sendai, gentleman.
I will have order. Solidify.
Rain outlines your fate. No, my sword.
Gentleman.
Time to go.
Order guide you. Gather.
Let me lead you out.
Time for retribution.
Gentleman. Let's go to USA.
Silly churl, Billy churl, silly Billy, hilly churl. Woo. When the sun's out, be but when the moon's out,
Power Ranger. Tabo, 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 tabo. Tabo. Double, 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 double!
This is order.
Got you no need.
Outlines your
Play with your teeth on me. Kimi no ashita he boku ga yaku shihimi o morite dash dash wakai zenkai no中に君がいるこの世界とフォーレンジャーありがとうありがとう
outlines your fate.
And the requests we will do a Kamen Rider opening concert.
This isn't good.
No, I want the one that starts with Kuga. Yeah. No, it starts with Zio. Where's the one, the old one? Kuga. Here, I think this is one.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, the new version.
Gosh. Wow.
Kuga! Ima nakasiru to yanate ga tsuyomi airaku ga hokori energy ku ga tsuyoku aru tame ni
This is order.
No fear, no pain. I know I'm still here. No fear, no pain. 知らぬもの何もない感染度をもうやる超人がなんだこが
I will have order. Crumble.
Let me lead you.
Order guide you.
が恋なき恋が来が君の世に得る来が強さの夢に No fear, no pain 壊すものNo fear, no pain 答えは全てそこにある頂上師匠俺がいてやる超人が狙いでるが energy, no fear, no pain, no pain, no fear, no pain. Oh, será un mono a nadie cansando su voz. Oiga, guardián, yo así, cada la cuya. Yami no naka misume teru Dewo no rashi Tsukami ni tore Kimi motomeru mono Mata誰かや平気残しててよ誰でも Let's go, come to rock Come and ride the agito 君のままで Whatever やっていい Here we go, come to rock Come on, ride the agito 今君がいないと変身
Solidify.
Let me read you a verse.
新しい心になら新しい時代さえ友なだろうそれでも諦めそうな中に立ち上がる Let's go, go zero 仮面ライダーライト見てるだけの君で生きたい Here we go, go zero 仮面ライダーライト君がないとけどダメになるラギートGo down to goラギート
I will have order.
Get on! Yo, what's up, how you doing?
No, my sword. Let me read you a verse.
Kamen Rider Dragon Knight! Let's fight!
Order guide you.
Let me check that. Kamen Rider Dragon Knight. It's morphing time. Genshin time! Final bell. Shield bell. Sword bell. Coming around the Dragon Knight. Together we can fight the fight. Dragon Knight. Let's ride! Fight the fight! Let's ride! They now to only use their Speed drive, Sonic the Hedgehog, too fast for the naked eye. Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic, they move. Sonic, he's got attitude. Sonic, he's the fastest thing alive. Saw you, she's the fastest thing alive. Sonic the Hedgehog, get to me. Saw you the Hedgehog. Saw you, saw you, it's got an attitude. Saw you, it's the fastest thing alive. Fastest thing alive. She's the fastest thing alive. Saw you the Hedgehog. What song? What else? What shall we do? Where are those songs that share the memory? Okay, time to build Xiao, Zhao, Zhao, whatever. Zhao, Zhao, Decay, Zhao. Wow, so this is gonna take forever. Maybe 1 year of artifact farming to get this new set up and running. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad. Why? Why does it have a 61% hit rate? Ah, it's because of the death match. Well, we cannot have everything we want in life. So I will not be able to use Xiao yet. It's gonna take forever. Well, I'm free to play. I don't need the welcome. I'm free to play, by the way. But all these characters free to play. So, what do we do when there's no content? There's no end game. Oh my Archon, the pain and the horror. There's no end game. No resin, so there's nothing to do.
Witness the power of good work.
Genshin sucks. No end game, it sucks. Ah, I remember. I remember the days. We shall do. What shall we do? We shall do the Diluc quest. Eula. No, not the Eula. I mean the Yoan quest. Is this the one? Return to quest screen. Calculated gambit. So this might be it. Umbralis Orchis chapter. The content that is every patch. The limited content. And let's check the language. Language cap. English. I'm not a weeb, so I will do the quest in English. Only weebs do Japanese. Only baka weebs Bakawibles. Certainly, I'm not one of them.
Uncle Tien, we're here to chat with you.
Oh? What a lovely surprise. Welcome. Oishi, why don't you go downstairs and get the shopkeeper to make us a fresh pot of tea?
Hello there, Uncle Tian. Want me to come along?
Heard that you've been traveling all over the place recently. I would very much like to hear your adventure stories.
Is everything A-okay? It's a long road ahead.
Hoishin told you, didn't she? Don't worry. I'm quite alright. It's just the years gradually catching up with me.
I see.
As I grow older, I'm starting to find that with many things, though the mind is willing, the flesh is weak. Especially recently, I've noticed a rather drastic drop in my energy levels.
Well, with many things comes great responsibilities, I guess, old man.
I am still very much in good standing as the Tianshu today. Nevertheless, I wish to pass on the position before my mental acuity begins to decline beyond redemption.
How difficult is it to transfer the Tianshu position?
Oh, well, you see, the Tianshu is a rather unique position among the Liyue Qixing. Historically speaking, the Tianshu rarely appears in public. We stay behind the scenes, planning and giving advice, so a public selection process would not be suitable. We also want to keep any prospective Tianshu candidates free from influence by outside forces, so we tend to be as discreet as possible in their assessment and appointment.
If you say so, Uncle.
For these reasons, the incumbent Tianshu typically recommends their candidate of choice, and this is then approved by the other Qixing members.
So in other words, you pick someone, and then Lady Keqing, Lady Ningguang, and the other Qixing appoint them?
Correct. Unfortunately, due to my health, I won't be able to assess every candidate myself. Not to despair, however, because I found someone exceptionally capable to act on my behalf as assessment officer. In fact, I believe you recently became acquainted with her yourself.
Oh? Who is it?
I'm heartbroken. I thought it might take you a little longer than this to forget all about me.
Mama? Is that you, Mama?
It's Yelan!
You want me to come along?
Jackpot. Uncle Tien here asked me to assess 3 candidates for him.
Yes, Mama.
Fancy joining me? You'll be among the first to get to know the next Tianshu. Might be a good opportunity for you.
Oh, so you do want me to come along. Come along. Come along, get it?
What do you think?
Well, I think it's a great opportunity to come along. I'm very interested.
Paimon thinks so too. It can't be a bad thing to be on good terms with a new Qixing, right?
Alright then.
Alrighty then.
Though, I gotta say, Uncle Tien, you say you're into behind-the-scenes planning? My work's of the covert variety, too. Don't you think I might make a good Tianshu?
Huh? Yelan, you want to be the next Tianshu?
I'm not opposed to the idea, but I suspect Ningguang wouldn't let you go very easily after how long you've been working together. So, how about this? If your investigation reveals that none of the other candidates are qualified for the position, I'll recommend you for the job.
Deal. Well, you guys take your time. Everything's all set for the assessments to go ahead.
You got it, Mama.
Meet me on the first floor when you're ready. Until then, have a pleasant conversation.
I'll meet you anywhere.
Oh, and no need to pay for your tea. As the new owner of this fine establishment, this runs on the house.
Wow, you're rich. Are you one of the Wayne? Is your family the Wayne family? You just buy the place and you just own the place. So I think we need we need to do some modifications with the pool area.
You're all set?
I'm always all set for you, Mama.
Uncle Tian seems really worn down. It's like all his energy's gone.
Yeah, it may sound harsh, but Uncle Tian is past his prime. He's not cut out for this anymore.
Yeah, there's a long road ahead.
So he's recommended 3 candidates. Their names are Qinwei, Mingbo, and Zhi.
Mingbo? What a nice name, Mingbo.
Qinwei is a wealthy entrepreneur. Mingbo works at the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs, and Zhi is focused on study and travel. Try to keep all that in mind. Of course, it doesn't really matter if you forget, since we'll be assessing them at Yuehai Pavilion in a short while.
Well, you're always on my mind, Yolan. Mommy.
Qianwei, Mingbo, Zhi. Paimon should be able to remember their names, but what does the assessment involve exactly?
Let's leave that until we get to Yuehai Pavilion. Alright. Heads in the game, people. The stakes don't get much higher than a change in the Qixing. We can't afford to miss anything, no matter how small.
Well, my head's in your game.
Got it. We'll keep our eyes wide open.
Yeah, wide open for you. The Dark Knight hero. Not only does he protect Mondstadt, but he also travels far and wide all the way to Yue Harbor. He also protects Yue. So he is the Dark Knight of all of Teyvat, not just Mondstadt. Ha!
My legs are getting sore. What is wrong with this assessment officer? This is a huge occasion and I don't even get a chair.
Who are these fools?
I've dealt with all kinds of people in my time, but never have I been made to stand while I'm waiting for an appointment.
Oh, I mean, I think it's fine.
That's called being complacent. If you're happy to just accept the way things are, you'll never be able to change anything in the future.
Oh, come on. That's just... Now you're just being unreasonable.
The futurist. All-knowing, all-seeing, he knows everything. He knows what's good for you. The futurist.
All right, you two. Let's not get into a big argument over this. It's not worth it. Qianwei, that was a bit uncalled for. And Mingbo, cut him some slack. We've all been standing around for a while. It's natural to be getting irritable. Look, how about this? There's no rule saying we're obliged to stand up while we wait, so why don't we borrow some chairs from the guild nearby?
Fine. They're not the best quality chairs, to be sure. But under the circumstances, it would be better than nothing.
Wow. Chairs need to be top quality here, apparently, in Liyue. Oh, so I'm with you.
Looks like all 3 candidates have arrived.
Oh, how did those 3 get in there?
Mm-hmm. We'll meet them formally soon. Before that, let me run you through the assessment process.
Well, you could assess me if you want.
I've split it into 2 stages. Current affairs and planning, and face-to-face interview.
Oh, I would love a face-to-face interview with you, Yolanda.
In the first stage, candidates are required to submit a manifesto for Liyue's development. In the second stage, we will ask them some questions in person.
Well, honestly, not gonna lie, kidding aside, Jolan is very, very beautiful, actually. Wow, especially up this close. Yeah, she's really waifu material. Her design is great. Well, she's got a personality. I think that's great too. Well, Yolan is a 10 out of 10. Must pull. Don't skip.
Writing a manifesto takes time, so I informed them of this requirement in advance. These are the reports they submitted.
Wow, one of them is really thick.
Submissive? Really thick?
It's also worth mentioning a stipulation I gave them. Whoever is appointed as the new Tianshu will be expected to implement their plan as put forward in their manifesto.
Well, I'll put it forward for you.
Failing the occurrence of some cataclysmic event, they will not be permitted to change their plan. Therefore, these 3 piles of documents in front of us represent where each candidate stands on key policy issues. There's still some time. Have a skim through, get a first impression of what each person's proposing. I'll be waiting off to the side. Just let me know when you're done.
Alright. Master Diluc again. In Liyue, he is masquerading as himself, but in the night, he is the Dark Knight. So to cover his identity, he does quests, random things for hot waifus, I guess. Chores, yeah, I believe these are chores. This is what you do in Genshin. Chores. Mephisto? Fist? Bunch of mega crap.
Finished, huh? What did you think?
Oh, I'm not done yet with you.
Everyone took it very seriously.
Of course they did. They have the chance to be picked as the new Tianshu, so you can bet they're putting their best foot forward.
Well, I'll take you very, very seriously. Serious relationship, perhaps? Ooh. I can see the mole from here. That's a very nice mole. Impeccable. Divine mole.
And keep in mind, whoever gets in has to execute their plan as written. Nobody wants to have any regrets.
Well, what do you think, Yolan?
That's for me to know and you to find out. We can talk more after the interviews.
We can talk all day, Cap.
We'll see the candidates now. Let's do one at a time. Start with Chenwei.
Hello there.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh? So you two are the assessment officers, are you?
Indeed we are. Good sir.
I had assumed that given the great import of this situation, Lady Ningguang would perhaps be assessing us in person. I certainly hadn't imagined I'd be seeing 2 entirely unfamiliar faces.
Lady Ningguang? I know her. She's a friend from work.
I trust you've read through my manifesto? I'd be more than happy to clarify any details you found difficult to grasp. It was written with an expert audience in mind, after all.
It was written in the stars.
Mind your tone, mister.
Yes, mister. Good sir.
Relax. It wasn't intended as a personal slight against anyone in particular. I was simply stating a fact.
Man, you sure do suck.
Cloud Retainer? You know this Adeptus? Oh, yes, I remember now. You must be the traveler that people are constantly talking about.
Yes, the Cloud Retainer. She's a friend from work.
With your sterling reputation, you must have a respectable level of erudition. Perhaps you will be able to understand the concepts I have put forward. Although I shouldn't get my hopes up.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Please introduce yourself.
I'm, Mingbo. I work in the Ministry of Civil Affairs. I've worked there for, 9 years, 5 months, and 3 days. In that time, I've handled, 2,347 cases.
Well, can you sing? Can you dance?
I have 12 active cases at the moment. They should be concluded in, 16 days?
Okay.
My current work is related to urban planning, and I'm also responsible for, auditing the accounts. To be more precise, there are 3 parts to the accounts, namely...
Is it just Paimon, or is he not very good at public speaking?
Okay, Mimbog.
You know
Pingbog.
what? Let's leave the self-introduction there and move on to some questions.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Can you do a cappella?
Hello. Not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little nervous. What would you like to know? You're here to assess me, so ask away and I'll answer your questions to the best of my ability.
Your manifesto is very wide in its scope, but you don't seem to be personally involved in many of the specific fields. How can you be sure that you have the ability to put your plan into action?
That was kind of straight to the point, Yolanda. I like it.
Very fair question. I completely understand where you're coming from.
Oh, I'm not coming yet.
But I'm confident in my plan. I've visited many different places, talked to lots of people with far more expertise than myself, and my manifesto is the conclusion of these efforts.
And?
Of course, 2 different problems can be interconnected in very complicated ways, and you might reach 2 very contradictory conclusions depending on which one you're focusing on. What I've tried to do is strike a balance. In other words, present an optimal solution to all the problems as a whole.
Balance? Is that you, Thanos?
How do you plan to determine whether you are right or wrong about your proposed solution being the optimal one?
A great question. Well, I'd start by having my colleagues and the secretaries of the Yuehai Pavilion evaluate any proposals before implementation. Post-implementation, it would all come down to the results. If it turned out that my judgment was to blame for poor results, I would take responsibility.
Nice answer. All right, next question.
Next.
He seems like a great guy. Everything he said was thoughtful and logical, and he was just a pleasure to listen to.
Here's my take on what we just learned. As you saw, Qianwei is highly knowledgeable. He proposes many excellent ideas in his manifesto which effectively target the big issues. But he is very proud and incredibly stubborn. He doesn't care much about other people's feelings. Ningguo's plan is more thorough and more measured. You can tell he's meticulous in his work, very detail-oriented.
Well, I care about your feelings.
But he and Qianwei are otherwise polar opposites. Mingbo is not very articulate and comes across as very timid in conversation.
Anything you say, Mommy.
Perfect summary. Paimon couldn't agree more. You're good at this, Yuan.
She's damn good.
Last but not least, Jur-E. His manifesto is full of pertinent details, his methodology is sound, and his proposals cover a broad range of fields, which is quite a rare feat.
Well, what about my manifesto?
The depth he goes into in each and every area means it can only be a product of painstaking work. Plus, he is modest and good at dealing with people. But what really interests me is that many of his views happen to coincide with Uncle Tien's. Having someone like Zhi take the position would certainly put Uncle Tien's mind at rest.
Great!
We'll see. Let's go back and report to Uncle Tien.
Wakarimashita. Master Diluc, a normal day in Liyue. But there's no dandelion wine in Liyue. So aside from being the Dark Knight, he also scouts Liyue Harbor, where he could sell his dandelion wine. Uncle, your dandelion wine.
I see. Then it's more or less as I anticipated.
Are you alright?
All right, then let me ask this. The ideas in Zhi's manifesto are very similar to your own. Is there any particular reason behind this?
Alright.
Oh, I didn't want to say anything when I gave you the list of candidates, for fear of affecting your judgment. But I can tell you now. Those 3 candidates have all studied under me in the past. It's only natural that they share some similarities with me.
Sifu, can I be your student?
But Xin Wei went on to focus on his business, and Ming Bo has always been occupied with his work at the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Of all of them, Zhi was with me for the longest duration.
Whoa! So how did you get to know them all, Uncle Tien?
Chen Wei was referred to me by an old friend. Ming Bo came to my attention in the course of my work. As for Zhi, I was pure happenstance. We first met while fishing. Gradually, as we got to know each other, we started discussing all sorts of topics.
Fishing? I love fishing. It's the best endgame content ever. Fishing for 2 or 3 months just to get a free-to-play weapon and upgrades for that weapon. Thanks, Hoyoverse.
Zhi came from a poor family, and his parents died when he was very young. But he was a gifted student and a fast learner. He reminded me of a younger version of myself. So I started out giving him a few words of advice when we were out fishing and noticed how quickly he got on.
Sounds like he's closer to you than you think.
Quite. And now, all of a sudden, he's grown into a mature young man. It's a joy to see. The young are growing up, and I am growing old. How time flies. No one can escape the cycle of life.
Yeah, obviously, old dude.
I don't know, Uncle Tien. You still seem in pretty good shape to me. You might have another few years of work left in you, don't you think?
Hey, Yalan, why don't I get a compliment from you?
Oh, you. There's really no need to console me. Having less energy than I used to isn't such a bad thing. It just means I finally have a good reason to retire and spend my days doing what old men like me should be doing. Going fishing whenever I feel like it.
Go for it, Uncle.
Sounds like you sure love fishing, Uncle Tien.
Yes, we sure do. We sure love fishing for R5 the catch. I got R5 catch just by fishing for 3 months, joining my friend's world to steal their fish.
Ooh, there's nothing quite like fishing to pass the time. Ooh, and freshly caught fish, They make the most beautiful fish soup with barely any preparation required.
Yeah, I feel you. So yeah, there's nothing like fishing when there's no resin to pass the time. Best 10 game event ever.
Fresh fish soup. Mmm, sounds tasty.
Hello, Skewer. Is it tasty, Precious?
Doesn't it? Also, some time ago, Jury purchased a very special recipe from an old fisherman.
Isn't it?
When we've been fishing recently, Jury always brings some extra ingredients he prepared in advance. The addition of these makes the soup taste even more wonderful.
Well, I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Just doing this quest and doing some random stupid things to prevent burnout.
That flavor makes for a fond memory. But at my age, who knows how many more chances I have left to taste it again.
Well, there will be very many chances, I'm sure, to taste those flavors that share the memory.
Oh, can Paimon come next time too? Paimon really wants to try it.
Let's get back to the matter at hand. Uncle Tien, we've reported back. Do you have a verdict?
Yes, my lord, what is your verdict?
I appointed you as the assessment officer, and I trust your judgment. Had you not asked me why Jury's ideas were so similar to mine, I was not going to mention my history with any of them. This decision must be guided by what is fair and right. Please disregard all other considerations and make your final decision only after a thorough review of each candidate's talents and capabilities.
Hey! Are you, hitting on her?
Remember, you must be thorough.
Well, I can be thorough with Yulan.
Understood.
Wakarimashita.
Come on, let's go talk somewhere else.
Do you want me to come along? Alone?
Bye-bye, Uncle Tien. Look after yourself.
Sayonara.
So, it's gonna be Jiri, right? His manifesto was written well.
Easy. Let's not rush. There's no time limit for this assessment.
We have all the time in the world.
Huh? So, are you gonna give them more tests or something?
No, nothing like that. The assessment itself is complete. But let me give you a word of advice. Things are not always as they appear.
Exactly. That mole doesn't appear all the time. Anyway.
The biggest no-no in intelligence work is to only get information from the person of interest themselves. The truth is almost always hidden beneath many layers of deception. You have to get information through many different channels.
Theatricality and deception.
For example, Wenyuan, Shanghua.
Wow, close up with Yulan. I love her makeup. And she lost her nose. Can I kiss you? Can I come along?
Yes?
Hey, I'm not talking to you. So, she has ninjas. She's the master. Is this the Shumatsu ban?
Lady Yelan, what are your orders?
Oh, this is the League of Shadows.
Ugh! Who are they? Where did they come from?
As I've said, my mom, they're the League of Shadows.
Did they scare you? These two are Wenyuan and Shanghua. They work for me.
Well, I can work for you too. No charge.
As my trusted assistants, they are always standing guard nearby. They also perform various assignments as required. Shanghua is a business expert who gets his information by trading. Wenyuan relies on word of mouth, And there's also Upei, who's not here right now.
That meathead must have been out there on sea surveillance for some time now.
Nothing can take that guy down. Certainly not a little wind and waves.
Hey, this guy looks familiar. I think I saw him in Inazuma before. Is this Ippei? Is that right? Is that the name of the character who got white hair?
Shenghua, visit all the commerce guilds and look into Qianwei's background. Wenyuan, go to the Ministry of Civil Affairs and look through Mingbo's work files.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, madam.
So what about Juri?
Juri, well, obviously, as the most promising candidate, we will be investigating him ourselves.
Yes. More time with you, Mama.
Let's go to the docks first. Lots of people passing through there. You can find out all kinds of things.
I'll race you there.
Why don't we try talking to Bulai, the owner of Wanyu Boutique? He does business at the North Wharf.
That's actually not a bad idea. Let's go and ask him.
Ikea? Again with Master Diluc, walking around Liyue Harbor, taking in the sights. Is he on a vacation? Or is he also working undercover as a dark knight in the light of day?
What's Bulai doing here today?
Look, your asking price for this batch is just too high. Come on, hear me out.
I accidentally dropped one into a well?
Even so.
All right. I'll let you in on a little secret. The boss of Second Life also wants to buy from me. I haven't responded yet. If you won't take them, I'll just have to partner with them instead.
Okay, well, when...
Well, what the crap was that?
Oh, what are you doing here? And to be clear, these Sunsettias are mine. I got to them first. Don't get any ideas.
Well, I've got like 1,535 of them in my bag. Real talk.
Actually, we want to ask you about a guy called Juri. Have you heard of him before?
Juri? Yes, he's quite well known. I've heard a story about him. They say he was born into poverty. His parents died. One of his neighbors was terribly rude to him all the time. He returned cruelty with kindness. Injustice with...
Oh, he sounds like a decent man. We can finally breathe a sigh of relief.
Meh.
Why are you asking about him anyway? You aren't looking for a brand ambassador too, are you?
Because I'm the traveler, Teyvat police.
Well then, in that case, the higher bidder takes the... That's Juri right over there.
Where?
Go talk.
It's him, all right. Looks like he's chatting with Linlong. Come on, let's follow them and listen in.
Well, at least he has a date. Sana all.
Try not to let him see you. We want this information to be as truthful as possible.
I'll be light as a feather.
I'll just go and fetch an employment contract. And hey, don't try and cut me out of this. Hey!
You can't escape the god of contracts. Nobody breaks the contract.
Let's walk and talk.
Ninja-san. Take a look around.
I trust you understand our shop quite well.
I know why you wanna hate me. Now I know why you wanna hate me. Six, I was ever seen lately.
An old friend of mine, Martin, likes to have a drink now and then.
Well, I
He
hate
fancies
this,
himself as a man
these
of culture,
quests.
but doesn't care for needless
These kind of quests, I hate
extravagance.
this.
So I thought I might buy him a set of high-quality
Now he's
cakes.
an ice skater. I'm an ice skater. Either the ice skater.
Come and collect at Shigu Antiques whenever it's convenient.
Is it like time crisis?
Thank you very much, Miss Lila.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Jerry. These days, it's quite rare for someone of your
Wow,
standing
I'm
to still
talking,
keep up with their old
stalking
friends. It's nice to see.
a guy
I'll
and
be
a
sure
girl.
to pick out a good set for you. You can count on me.
So I'm an eavesdropper now. The traveler Savior Tivat, the eavesdropper.
Jerry seems to get along really well with everyone. Are you satisfied now, Yuan? Seems like everyone thinks Jerry's a great guy.
Yeah, are you satisfied, Mama?
We shouldn't jump to conclusions just yet. Let's go check out the wharf where he usually goes fishing.
Oh, you want more?
Do we have to? Wait, you're not just trying to dig up some dirt on Jerry because you want to be Tianshu yourself, are you?
Are you Yay Miko? This is like a Yay Miko situation? We're gonna be slaves for these mamas again.
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. But hey, if I do become Tianshu, I'll look out for you guys.
Maybe you are Yay Miko. Sure, I'll let you take care of me.
You'll be able to try all the finest food for free. How does that sound?
We can try all the finest positions. That sounds better.
We will? Well, come on! Off to the South Wharf we go!
No, it's Hu Tao. Hu Tao running around Liyue Harbor. She likely burning everything in Liyue. She's the Liyue Kli version. We fast travel. Alright, let's see one Hu Tao by the way. No stamina needed. So if you run out of stamina, this is what you do.
The wharf is as busy as ever.
Yeah, it is, obviously.
I hear the anglers here sometimes sell their fish to the nearby fishmongers. Let's see what Uncle Soon has to say.
Yeah, let's see what the Uncle Leaker has to say about the next batch.
Go!
Welcome. What would you like to buy today?
We need some information.
Sorry to interrupt. We're actually members of the, Liyue Anglers Association, and we just wanted to ask a few questions about someone.
Nice improv.
We've heard about this young man called Jur-E, who's supposed to be a fantastic fisherman. Just wondering if you happen to have heard of him?
Whoa! Yuan made up a whole fake identity without batting an eyelid!
Yeah, she's a catch.
Ah, yes, Jury. He's been making quite a name for himself recently. Apparently, he had a rather tough time growing up. Had to work several jobs alongside his... How does that saying go? What doesn't...
Yeah, we think so too!
Joker? Ultron? Is that you?
But I'm afraid your Anglers Association might be in for a disappointment.
Oh? Why is that?
He's good at a lot of things, but fishing isn't one of them. His catches are always mediocre. Not terrible, but equally nothing to write home about.
That sounds fantastic. I've got a couple of other things to attend to right now, though, so why don't I come back some other time and we can chat over a drink?
Sure thing. See you.
Everywhere they go, they meet someone who's heard of him. Come on, let's keep asking around.
E? What shall we do? He's just running, but it's like he's gonna poop.
Here to buy some fish? It's 300 for one or 3 for 1,000.
Well, that's highway robbery out there.
You better hurry. When they're gone, they're gone.
Hello, we're from the Society for Fish Price Research. We'd just like to ask a few questions.
Wow, she switched identity again.
Yeah, just like Two-Face.
Society for Fish Price Research? I haven't done anything illegal. Stay out of my business.
Please, don't worry. We're just here to conduct a simple survey. We've heard about a certain Jur-E who's been selling fresh fish at low prices in this area recently. Do you know anything about this?
So this isn't about me. You should have said something, you know. I know the guy. I can tell you what I know. I haven't heard anything about him selling fresh fish at low prices, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was him.
Oh? Why is that?
Because he's so poor. His parents died when he was very young, and his alcoholic father he was still a kid when he first came to the wharf. He managed to survive, thanks to Uncle Tien. I mean, he can afford to eat and everything, but you'll often see him haggling with others over just a few mora. So it's not like he catches much anyway, so it's not going to affect my business. Don't tell him I said that.
You'd rather he didn't know?
Well, I spoke to him once, briefly, and I just had a feeling that he really cares what other people think of him.
It's a snowflake.
I think he has pretty low self-esteem, but hey, it's hardly my place to say anything. And nobody's perfect. I just wouldn't want to upset him, that's all.
I see. Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Not a problem. And just for the record, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the price of my fish.
The more times you say it, the less convincing it becomes.
Doesn't have a lot of mora to his name.
Hey, it's you guys! Wait, what's the phrase? Oh yeah, honored to meet you.
Not me.
What brings you to me?
The truth is, we are but newcomers to this territory. We heard tell of a great martial artist, Master Dugu, who knows everything there is to know. Hence, we sought you out to ask for your guidance.
Really? People said I know everything there is to know?
But of course. We also heard that Master Dugu is a kind and virtuous swordsman who never turns away anyone who comes with questions.
Great! So what do you wish to know? Nothing happens on this street that I don't know about.
Now she's lying to a kid.
Well, it's not that bad.
So, Master Dugu, have you heard of one by the name of Jur-E?
Sure have. You mean that guy that all the grown-ups are talking about these days? I've heard many tales of Jur-E. For example, I can't remember. Probably because it's nothing that important. I prefer stories about sword-fighting heroes!
Oh, I can completely understand that. Then let me ask you this. Do you remember roughly when the grown-ups started talking about Jur-E?
Oh yeah, I know that! It was about 2 or 3 months ago. Before that, people always used to talk about Jur-E in a kind of nasty tone of voice. Sometimes he gives me candies. So I'm glad that people are starting to like him now.
Just as I thought.
Huh? What do you mean?
I mean, just as I thought, Master Dugu is indeed as kind and virtuous as the legends claim.
I'm not that great. Oh yeah, one other thing. These days, there's a lot of people I've never seen before talking about Jur-E stories in the street.
Oh, definitely.
Great! So next time I see them, I'll say hi.
Certainly. You can also tell my friend in Yenshang Tea House about what they're up to. I'm sure my friend would also like to say hi to them.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Well then, fare thee well, Master Dugu.
So long, so long.
Until we meet again.
Tomorrow, we're gonna log in again.
Any of that sound strange to you?
I'm completely lost. Your beautiful face, your beautiful makeup, your beautiful body, your beautiful mole, and those melons, the beautiful melons.
Strange? What was strange about it? Juri seems to have a great reputation. Uncle...
True. But the issue is, where did his sudden celebrity come from? It almost seems too good to be true.
Sudden? Too good to be true?
So he returns cruelty with kindness, and had to work to support his studies. These are the kinds of things that make someone well known in their hometown. But Uncle soon said even his friends who travel far and wide hear about him wherever they go. That's a little over the top, if you ask me. Do you remember what Dugu Shuo said about Juri's stories? Clearly they left him with a good impression of the guy. But beyond that, he wasn't interested in the details. That's the reaction I would expect from any normal person. Plus, there's the fact that all this praise of Juri has only been happening within the last 2 or 3 months. His childhood, his studies, the thing with his neighbor. None of these are recent events. So why are these stories only going around now?
When you put it like that, it is kinda strange.
Of course, if that's all there was to it, I wouldn't look into it any further. Juri was born into a poor family. Paying people to get his stories out there is within the rules of the game as far as I'm concerned. The problem is, do you remember what Uncle Gao said about him? He's stayed poor his whole life. Everything he's earned he's either spent on studying, traveling, or paying off debts. I don't think he has the mora to pay for a publicity campaign.
Someone's sponsoring him? With Primogens?
Right. And that changes everything. It can mean a powerful faction is trying to gain influence over the Liu at Xixing. That's the worst-case scenario. But all too often, the most pessimistic speculation turns out to be closest to the truth.
Someone's trying to gain influence over the Qixing? That sounds serious. What should we do? Even if we asked Juri about it, surely there's no way he'd admit it.
First, we need to find out who's supporting him. Don't worry, I've got a plan. Remember the current affairs and planning stage of the assessment? Since the successful candidate is duty-bound to implement their plan after taking office, their manifesto tells us their stance on key issues.
Oh my god, this story quest is so long. I'm about to fall asleep.
Whoever is secretly helping Juri must be seeking to benefit from his actions after his appointment. So, we should be able to find some hints in Juri's manifesto on who we're dealing with. Come on, let's get back to Yenshang Tea House.
Solidify!